भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवती नैष्टिकी. Today we try to understand 1.13.1 and 2. Sutah uvacha Vidura tirthayatrayam
विदुरः तीर्थयात्राया
Maitreyat atmanah gatim
मैत्रेयात् आत्मनः गतिम्
Gyatva agata Hastinapuram
ज्ञात्वा अगाध हस्तिनपुरम्
Taya avapta vivitsitah
तया अवाप्त विभूतितः
Yavata krutavan prashnan
यावत् कृतवान् प्रश्नान्
Tatta kaushara ava agratah
वाप्
Tatta kaushara
कौशारवग्रतः
agratah जात एक भक्ति ही गोविंदे
जात एक भक्ति गोविंदे
तेभ्य च उपर राम
तेभ्य च उपर रामः
सूतः उवाच
सूतः उवाच
विदुरः तीर्थयात्रायां
विदुरः तीर्थयात्रायां
मैत्रेयात् आत्मनः गतिम्
मैत्रेयात् आत्मनः गतिम्
ज्ञात्वा अगात् हस्तिनापुरम्
ज्ञात्वा अगाध हस्तिनापुरम्
तया अवाप्त विवित्सितः
तया अवाप्त विवित्सितः
यावतः कृतवान् प्रश्नान्
यावतः कृतवान् प्रश्नान्
तत्ता कौशारव आगृतः
छत्ता कौशारव आग्रतः
जात एक भक्ति ही गोविंदे
जात एक भक्ति गोविंदे
तेभ्य च उपर राम
तेभ्य च उपर रामः
सूत उवाच विदुर तीर्थयात्रायां मैत्रेयात आत्मनः गतिं ज्ञात्वा अगातस्तिनापुरं तया अवाप्त विविसितः यावत् कृतवान् प्रश्नान् क्षत्ता कौशारव आग्रतः जात एक भक्ति गोविंदे तेभ्य च परराम. हरे कृष्ण. साधु संग प्रभुजी.
सूत उवाच विदुरः तीर्थयात्राया मैत्रेयात् आत्मनः गतिम् ज्ञात्वा आगाध हस्तिनपुरम् तया वाप्त विवित्सितः यावतः कृतवान् प्रश्नान् क्षत्ता कौशारवग्रतः जात एक भक्ति गोविंदे तेभ्य च उपर रामः
कृपामयी सीतादेवी माताजी.
हरे कृष्णा माताजी. विदुरा
हरे कृष्ण.
विदुरा तीर्थ यात्राभ्यां
सूत
मैत्रेयात्
उवाच
आत्मनः गतिम् सूत उवाच विदुरा तीर्थयात्रायां मैत्रेयात् आत्मनो गतिम् ज्ञात्वा अगत् हस्तिनापुरं तया अवाप्त विभीषिता यावत् कृतवान् प्रसान् शता कौस्तभ व्रतः जैतक बहिर् गोविन्दे तेभ्यश्च
ऊपर.
उपरामः.
हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you.
Very translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Sutta Goswami said, while traveling on a pilgrimage, Vidura received knowledge of the destination of the self from the great sage Maitreya and then returned to Hastinapur. He became as well versed in the subject as he desired. After asking various questions and becoming established in the transcendental loving service of Lord Kṛṣṇa, Vidura retired from putting question to Maitreya Muni. Her purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Vidura, one of the prominent figures in the history of the Mahabharata. He was conceived by Vasudeva in the womb of the maidservant of Ambika, mother of Maharaj Pandu. He is the incarnation of Yamraj. Being cursed by Mundak Muni, he was to become a Shudra. The story is narrated as follows. Once upon a time, the state police caught some thieves who had concealed themselves in the hermitage of Mundak Muni. The police constables, as usual, arrested all the thieves and Mundaka Muni along with them. The magistrate specifically punished the Muni to death by being pierced with a lance. When he was just to pierce, the news reached the king, and he at once stopped the act on consideration of his being a great Muni. The king personally begged the Muni's pardon for the mistake of his men, and the sent at once went to Yamraja, who prescribes the destiny of the living beings. Yamraj being questioned by the Muni, please, this turn replied that the Muni in his childhood pierced at with a sharpened straw, and for that reason he was put into. Please, this block remove. The Muni thought it unwise on the part of Yamraj that he was punished for his childish innocence, and thus the Muni cursed Yamraj to become a Shudra, and this Shudra incarnation of Yamraj was known as Vidura, the Shudra brother of Dhritarashtra and Maharaj Pandu. But this Shudra, son of the Kuru dynasty, was equally treated by Vishmadeva along with his brother's nephew, and in due course, Vidura was married with a girl who was also born in the womb of a Sudrani by a Brahmana. Although Vidura did not inherit the property of his father, the brother of Bhishmadeva, still he was given sufficient state property by Dhritarashtra, the elder brother of Vidura. Vidura was very much attached to his elder brother, and all along he tried to guide him on the right path. During the patricidal war of Kurukshetra, Vidura repeatedly implored his elder brother to do justice to the sons of Pandu. But Duryodhana did not like such interference by his uncle, and thus he practically insulted Vidura. This insulted in Vidura's living home for pilgrimage and taking instructions from Maitreya. Please, this block remove. Vidura retired for putting question before Maitreya Muni when he was convinced by Maitreya Rishi that the summum bonum of life is to be finally situated in the transcendental loving service of Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, who is a Govinda, or one who satisfies his devotee in all respect, the conditioned soul, the living being in material existence, seeking happiness by employing his senses in the modes of materialism, but that cannot give him satisfaction. He then searches after the supreme truth by the empiric, philosophical, speculative method and intellectual feats. But if he does not find the ultimate goal, he again goes down to material activities and engages himself in various philanthropic and altruistic work, which all fail to give him satisfaction. So neither fruit activities nor dry philosophical speculation can give one satisfaction, because by nature a living being is the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, and all the Vedic literature give him direction toward that ultimate end. The Bhagavad Gita 15.15 confirms this statement. The Vidura, an inquisitive conditioned soul, must approach a bona fide spiritual master like Maitreya, and by intelligent inquiries must try to know everything about karma, fruit activities, jnana, philosophical research for the supreme truth, and yoga, the linking process of spiritual realization. One who is not seriously inclined to put question before a spiritual master need not accommodate a show bottle spiritual master, nor should a person who may be a spiritual master for others suppose to be so, if he is unable to engage his disciple ultimately in the transcendental living service of the Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Vidura was successful in approaching such a spiritual master like Maitreya, and he got the ultimate goal of life, bhakti unto Govinda. Thus, there was nothing to be known further about spiritual progress. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनः शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्दे अहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देव श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच नमो ओम विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा। Here in shloka number first and second, they try to describing Sutta Goswami said when Vidura go for traveling on a pilgrimage, he met in the pilgrimage place Maitreya Rishi, and he asked him some question about spiritual transcendence, and after coming he not various question he asked, and becoming established in the transcendental being loving service of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Vidura after that not asking ahead to again question, because he was satisfied with the answer of the Maitreya Rishi. And what he do after coming in Hastināpura, we try to understand from tomorrow. Now, which are describing in these two shlokas, Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hopefully, I am audible to everyone. Hare
Yes.
Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji.
according to Vedic civilization, the perfection of life is to realize relationship with Krishna or God. We have been reading this repeatedly, and Prabhupada ji emphasizes this again and again that all living entities are parts and parcels of God. And the parts are always meant to serve the whole. Just like I have these hands, so the hands has to serve the whole. The legs have to serve the whole. The fingers have to serve the whole. The ear, it has to serve the whole body. So similarly, we living entities, because we are parts and parcels of Krishna, we are duty bound to serve Krishna. And that is where the whole concept of service to Krishna comes in. And Vidura, about whom we are reading right now in these two shlokas, was one of the examples of who received knowledge about the destination of the self. So, destination of self is always Golok Vrindavan, to be in association with Krishna. So, Vidura received this knowledge, and from whom? Directly from great sage Maitreya. And after he had received this knowledge, he thought, why not give it to my own brother? So he perfected himself and then he came back to Hastinapur. So when he was taking this knowledge, he asked Maitreya Muni all kinds of questions. So pariprashnena sevaya. So this is one of the qualities of a disciple. So he asked various questions so that he could become established in loving service of Krishna. And then once he was satisfied, then he could come back. Now regarding Vidura, we all know he is a prominent figure. So Vyasdevji was the one who was responsible for his conception in the womb of Ambika, was maid servant. And it is said that Vidura is actually an incarnation of Yamraj. And he had become the Shudra because of the curse of Mundaka Muni. So, the story we all know, as Mataji has read, about how the thieves were there, they had put themselves, the robbed items in the hermitage of Mundak Muni. The soldiers and the police officials came. They arrested the thieves. One Mundak Muni was arrested, and then the Muni was uh, punished that he should be pierced with a lance. And the king, when he got the news, he immediately stopped it. He begged forgiveness. He went to Yamraja and he asked, when Yamraj was questioned by Muni, he was told that in his childhood he had done an act of piercing an ant with a straw. Now, Muni thought that this was not right and proper for Yamraja to punish him for his mistake in a child, which was innocently done. And so he cursed him to become a Shudra. And this was Vidura. But then, because he was born on the request of the royal family members and the blessings of Vyasdev, he was treated equivalently as a brother of Dhritarashtra and Pandu. And in due course, he also became a chief, I'll say, advisor. And since he was attached to his brother, he always guided him on the right path. In fact, during the Kurukshetra war, he tried all his best so that the war could be avoided. Something could be given to the Pandavas. But Duryodhana did not like it and he insulted Vidura. And so Vidura has left for pilgrimage. And while he was on pilgrimage, he met Maitreya Rishi. Now, when he met Maitreya Rishi, he immediately started asking questions. So, though he had retired, he was always being informed about what was happening in Hastinapur. So, when he had the opportunity, he put questions to Maitreya Muni and he wanted to understand what is the summum bonum of life. What should be done? What is the objective of life? And he understood that the summum bonum of life is finally to be situated in the transcendental loving service of Krishna. And this is exactly what even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said. Jivera Swarupa hai Nityera Krishna Das. So we have to be always situated in the service of Krishna. So we have a choice. Either we can be Maya Das or we can be Krishna Das. And it is up to us what we actually want to do. But our opinion, our attitude is always to be subservient to someone. We can never lord it over to anyone. Even if we try to lord over the nature, the laws of nature are such that we immediately become subservient. Hare Krishna. So that is the actual nature of the living beings. And as we saw, that is exactly what the self-realization means. And Vedic civilization is something wherein the perfection of life is ideally made to be understood by us, wherein we realize our relationship with Krishna. Even when Krishna spoke to Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita, it was a discussion between a teacher and a student, but it was meant for all of us. So once when I was in college and this was said, I asked, how is it possible? And I was actually explained in a very simple language. Nowadays, we see that many renowned personalities, they are being interviewed on television. So now that we have this new virus which has come in, MPV something, immediately the experts have been called on television shows. And the one who is doing the interview is asking questions. And the expert is answering the questions. So again, a discussion between two persons. But is it limited to the person who is asking the questions? No, it is for everyone who is going to be a witness to this discussion, to whom this discussion is going to be shared. Similarly, the discussion between Arjuna and Krishna was not meant for Arjuna alone, but for the fallen living souls in Kali Yuga like us who would actually need this knowledge. Because it is we who are always bewildered. It is we who are always in anxiety. It is we who are always questioning, why am I doing something? Even if you don't like it, or even if you don't need it. And that is where the support and the knowledge comes into practice. So Vidura had so many questions because though he was in a material world, this is dukkhalaya shashvatam. So we will be trying to seek happiness by employing our senses in modes of materialism. But still that is never received. So then we look after various philosophical methods, Gyan Kand, Karma Kand, so many things. But again, we don't get the ultimate goal. And we again get into the cycle of repeated birth, old age, disease, and death. So neither fruity activities nor dry philosophical speculation can give us satisfaction because our natural position, nature, is being servant to the eternal servitor of the God. And that is what is mentioned even in Bhagavad Gita, in the 15th chapter, 15th verse. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedehe cha sarverahame vedyo vedanta krut vedeva chaham. So Krishna is saying that he is situated in everyone's heart. From him comes remembrance, knowledge, forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. Ataha pravishtaha shashta jananam. But the living entity forgets as soon as he quits the present body, and again the work is started of trying to find happiness in this material world, which is never there. And that is why it is called as illusion, something that never exists. So, like Vidura, an inquisitive conditioned soul must approach a bona fide spiritual master. That is very, very important. Because this human form of life has been received after many, many births. Bahunam janmanamante. Dhanvan mam prapadyante. So Krishna is saying this, that it's after many, many, many births that you get the human life form. Vasudeho sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. And even with that, knowing that Krishna is the cause of all causes and all that is, such Mahatma, such great soul is very rare. Now, this is explained even in Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha, Sahasraksha Sahasrapatah, Sabhumim Vishvato Vratva, Tyatishthad Dashangulam, Purusha Eva Edam Sarvam, Yad Bhutam Yadcha Bhavyam, Uttam Vartat Vyase Sanu, Yad Anena Atirohati. So Lord Vishnu has thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, thousands of feet, entirely encompassing the whole universe. He still extends beyond it by 10 fingers breadth. He is in fact this entire universe. He is all that was and all that will be. He is the Lord of immortality and all that is nourished by food. Even in Chandogya Upanishad, it is mentioned, Navai vacho na chakshumshi na shrotrani na manavshati achakshate prana iti eva chakshate prana hi evaitani sarvani bhavanti. In the body of a living being, neither the power to speak, nor the power to see, nor the power to hear, nor the power to think is prime factor. It is life which is center of all activities. Lord Krishna is the prime entity in everything. So, unless all the powers we have, if they are not related to Krishna, then they are not important. And Krishna is all pervading. So, the devotee surrenders in full knowledge to Krishna. And that is what is most important. तेषां ज्ञानिं नित्ययुक्त एक भक्ति अविशिष्यते प्रिय ही ज्ञानम अति अर्थम अहम सच मम प्रियः. So Krishna says, the one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best, for I am very dear to him and he is dear to me. So these shlokas regarding Vidura are making us understand this concept. So Vidura asked questions, as many questions as he had, so that he could get the responses and become expert in the knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is exactly what we also have to do. So whom should we ask the question? And the answer is also given, wherein Krishna says it very clearly. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadyakshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So, we have to approach a bona fide spiritual master who is in the proper Guru Shishya Parampara, who is giving the knowledge as it is without any of his personal interpretation, who is a person Bhagavata. And this path of religion is being explained as given, as enunciated directly by the Lord. Dharmam hi sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So, to receive the knowledge, we must approach the master. He should be accepted in full surrender. We should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. So, inquiries and submission, they constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. So let us pray to Jagannath Ji that we develop this attitude and get to go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.